Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.
Hello and welcome to the final episode of Undercurrent for this series. I'm Christy Molliker and today finds me on the other side of the tracks here in Northbridge. Well, in these challenging financial times, it can be near on impossible to start up a new business, let alone grow that business to its first year. That's why Jasmine Stewart decided to go along to the first birthday celebrations of Moes Mobiles in Speward to find out just how it's done.
We're here today at Phoenix Shopping Centre to pay Moes Mobiles a surprise visit to see how they're celebrating their very first birthday. So I'm here with Tano, manager of Moes Mobiles, and you've been here since the beginning. So we're here celebrating the first birthday. How's it been the past year with business?
In the first year, business has been quite well. I mean, obviously it started off a little bit slow, being a new business and that, but we've picked up each month by month. It's definitely something that has improved, obviously, as time goes on, and as time continues, it will continue to improve even more.
And have you noticed any challenges in the past year since you've set up the business?
There's always challenges. I mean, there's always challenges with a new business. You need to create a name for yourself, need people to work out where you are and that you're here. It's all stuff that takes time at the end of the day. It's not something that we can't do, but something it is a challenge. I like the challenge and it gets us there. So at the end of the day, we will get it.
So Michelle, is choosing a phone as easy as spinning this wheel?
No, it's really not. It's a very personal choice. It depends what you need to do with your phone, whether you need a good camera, whether you like to go for a run and want something that you can go running with good headphones, or whether you use the internet on your phone. So it really depends on what you need to do with it. But as far as spinning the wheel goes, next week on our birthday on Thursday, customers will be able to come and spin the wheel to win a prize.
So do you think you can help me choose a phone?
Absolutely. Let's go across and have a look at what we've got available.
I personally like phones that have got really good camera quality, faster internet. I'm not too fussed about music.
Okay, sure. On a $45 value plan with Crazy Johns is our Samsung Galaxy S2. It's a dual-core processor, so you can flick from page to page twice as quick. 8-megapixel camera, so you won't need a camera. You can use a phone to take all of your photos while you're out and about. And you can choose from either a white handset or a pink handset if you'd prefer something a bit
I'd like the pink.
I'd like the pink as well.
That's cool.
We've also, with this one at the moment, we can give you a prepaid $50 Visa card, so you can put that towards paying your first month's bill, or you can use it to go shopping with, whatever you choose.
And what's the best advice you think you could give someone who's looking to buy a new phone?
It's all about the personal functionality of the phone, what you need to do with it. So come in and see us. Let us know what it is that you want to do with your phone, and we can then help you to choose the best phone and the best plan for you so that we can save you some money.
And are there any personal favourites out there at the moment?
The pink Galaxy S2, definitely.
One of the main advantages is the customer service. We offer some of the best services. The customer's king at the end of the day. We treat them the best possible way. And that's one thing that you're not going to find anywhere else. We'll go on above and beyond for the customer. Also, we know what we're talking about. We've got the knowledge, we've got the experience, and we're here to do that job. And that's the core to why we're doing well here, and that's the core to why we're going to celebrate our first birthday in a crisis.
There's a big variety here, and the customer service is really good here.
Yeah, pretty much I live close by, and the fact that there's lots of variety as well here. I'm not just stuck with one or the other companies. I've got the choice to choose.
The customer service here is second to none. They always know what they're talking about. They help me with what I need. Anything they don't have in stock for me, they can always order it in.
Our future plan is obviously to build on our first year and continue the success that we've had, and just to go on from there. The aim of the game is to do better than what we did the year before.
The success of Moes Mobiles' first birthday just proves that small businesses can pull through the economic crisis. I'm Jasmine Stewart reporting for Undercurrent. Happy first birthday to Moes Mobiles. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Well, for most of us these days, spending a little bit of our time surfing the net or keeping up with our friends on Facebook and Twitter is harmless. But for some people, it's becoming a serious addiction. Nikita Dixon investigates how all this new technology can be a little dangerous.
Drug, alcohol and gambling addictions are all too familiar for many in WA. But a new type of addiction, it seems, is flying under the radar of the state government. Several studies have shown excessive use of the internet to have the same effects on the brain as addictive substances, with devastating consequences. It's estimated around 5 to 10% of people who use the internet are believed to be addicted.
Yeah, I would argue that as a psychologist, one of the fastest growing areas is internet addiction. I've run some workshops around Australia last year, and all across Australia my colleagues are saying we're getting increasing numbers of people addicted.
There's several case studies and examples of where people have displayed behaviours that are very similar to someone who's addicted to drugs or to alcohol. You know, the immediate desire to need it, the anxiety when you can't access it.
There's been studies coming out of Taiwan where they've done functional MRI scans of the brain, and they demonstrated that internet addictive behaviour, particularly online gambling, right, stimulates the same areas of the brain as, say, any of the addictive drugs.
I think, again, with a lot of games, you're looking to reward the player for achievement. You're looking to deliver a sense of satisfaction when things go right. When you're getting that action and reward response, I think that people can get addicted to the sense of well-being that they get from it, much in the same way that, you know, a gambler might get addicted to the rush of winning.
It's a media which really appeals to the brain. So men's brains particularly are visually stimulated. So fast-acting computer games or visual pornography have a big impact on men's brains. So once you access that part of the brain visually, it also has an emotionally calming effect. So it's a bit like a drug, and it has an escape effect.
I think for a lot of people, it comes down to that concept of the third space. In the past, people would often go to bowling alleys, to pool halls, to the pub, to have that social space that's not home or work. And these days, often that third space is an online environment.
People then fall in love with a virtual character, so they leave their marriage. Instead of resolving the problems, they create an escape. So their interpersonal relationships get worse. And like any addiction, people put more and more effort into it, so they have less and less real life connection.
I think that any addictive behaviour, when you've got a combination with social isolation, it's going to impact upon their home life, their work life. If they're students, they're studying, right? It's going to have a long-term impact upon them, right? That's why we need to actually address these social issues.
If you take something like internet pornography, what we've discovered is that each generation is looking at it earlier. Now, something like 34% of 10 to 16-year-olds have viewed pornography, often unwanted. And we wonder what it does in the brain. You can't erase those images.
I think one of the things that everyone's got to remember is just turn off the computer probably doesn't work, right? They need support, they need help. We need to actually identify if there are any underlying issues, assist them in that, medicate them appropriately, and like with any other addiction, all right, it is slow and steady and they will eventually make it through.
It's actually one of the more difficult addictions to treat. Once people really get into it, I mean, I've seen people who might be doing 3, 4, 5 hours a night, or other people who go on binges. So I saw one guy who, on a Friday night, he'd go off to a hotel, lock himself in a hotel for 2 days, take stimulant drugs and spend a whole weekend on internet, online activities. and use the drugs to keep himself awake. So it's a very, very difficult area to treat.
I certainly think that it's worth looking at including into our mental health services. I don't think it's quite reached an epidemic point yet. I don't even think it's really near that in much the same way that, again, you have gambling addiction and alcohol addiction.
It will become a big enough problem that clinics that are currently established will need additional funding to help patients which are addicted to the internet manage their problems and manage them effectively. Because, as I said, it needs to be treated as any other addiction. That's slow and steady, right? Supportive environments, and make sure all the underlying other issues, other disease states that may be going on need to be treated, and the patient needs to be helped.
The problem, internet's available 24 hours a day, so we don't have any sort of any control other than self-control.
With internet access improving, the number of people that use the internet, I just think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we'll see it in its manifestations for decades to come.
While the WA Mental Health Commission, the Health Department and the Drug and Alcohol Office all declined to comment, they did reveal they'd not considered introducing rehabilitation programs for those affected by internet addiction. Internet addiction is still a relatively new phenomenon in Australia, but as the internet takes a larger role in our lives, there's only so long that the state government can ignore it. I'm Nikita Dixon for Undercurrent.
Ever been standing in a shop or a business and wish that you had your consumer rights right at your fingertips? Well, now, thanks to a new iPhone app from the Department of Consumer Protection, you can. But would you use it? Well, Jasmine Stewart took to the streets this week to find out.
Are you aware of all your rights as a consumer when you go shopping? A new iPhone app release called iShop WA explains all the rules and terms and conditions of the Australian consumer law. But is this a good idea? We hit the streets of Perth to find out what you think. Do you guys have any problems when returning clothes when you go shopping?
Sometimes, yeah.
Not really.
Sometimes, yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have problems with returning clothes and what's not, so.
Mostly I don't have, but if you buy a very expensive item, you want to know more about it.
Have you heard of a new iPhone app called iShop WA?
No, I haven't, no.
I haven't, no.
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
No, why?
Basically, it's a free app that explains consumers' rights and terms and conditions by the touch of a button. So when you go shopping, do you think it would be a good idea to have something like that handy on your phone?
Yeah, maybe. It's a good idea, I think.
Definitely. If you're in a shop and you don't know the rights, you've got it in front of you, then yeah.
Basically, it's a new free app that explains to consumers their rights and the rules in the Australian consumer law by the touch of a button. Do you think something like that is handy to a shopper when going shopping?
I would reckon, yeah.
That is a good idea, but at the same time, when shoppers are busy shopping, well, will they really check on it?
Yeah, I think so. It's probably a good idea. I know for like fashion retail as well, like sometimes some of my friends have bought a dress or a shirt and they've noticed like there's like a little hole or something wrong with it and they've tried returning it and they say like, no, it's a sales item, so the only thing you can do is replace it.
Yeah, probably, because you've got the rules and really, they can't really stop you from returning it, can they? Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's pretty cool, yeah.
And yeah, it's a good idea to provide one more option to the shoppers.
As expected, it seems most of you think the new iShop app will benefit consumers when you go shopping, especially in those tricky situations. I'm Jasmine Stewart, reporting for Undercurrent.
And a very big thank you to all of you who've come along and said hello and shared your thoughts with us on our Vox Pog segment throughout all of our series of Undercurrent so far. I'm Christy Mollica. Join me for more Undercurrent from Northbridge here after the break.
Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.